Right. We're going to continue today what we started the halachas of b'yoyim otitan schora. You have to pay a worker, a contractor, on time. So it says in Shulchan Aruch, ezu zmanoi. What the definition of on time? So like this, chir yoyim yesh lo zman litnoi loy kol halayla. Meaning, if he worked the whole day, he finished by mamash by the night. So the Chachamim, the Torah gave you a time that if the time was to pay was already at the beginning of the night, so they gave you the whole night to come up with the money to pay him. So that was Schir Yom. He worked the whole day, the time of payment at the beginning of the night, so they gave you the whole night to come up with the money. If it was Schir Laila, he was working the whole night, so comes the morning, you have to pay him, so they give you the whole day to pay him. If you didn't pay him at that time, then you over Mishum B'yom Otitan Schari. That's the halacha. The Ramo adds over here, U'poyalim Didon. Says in our time, he says the workers and Oisim Malach Adalayla. They don't work the whole entire day. They finish the work while it's still daytime. Meaning, if a person finished the work during the day, we didn't work through the day till the night, he finished it during the day, still was daytime, so you have to finish him by the end of the day. Comes Shkia, he says, well, you over and b'yom otitan schore. Then it's like this. Schir shoes. If somebody doesn't work the whole day, he comes to you to work by the hours. So if he finished during the day, so you have to pay him that day. You mean that you have the whole day. If he finished 1 p.m. to work for you, you have all the way till Shkia of that day to pay him. And something he just came for 1 or 2 hours at night, so by the end of the night you have to pay him. No. So there is one exception to that rule when you're not over b'yom otitan schoroi. That's with a contractor. In which way? For example, if you give your car to a mechanic to repair, or you give your clothing to cleaners for dry cleaning, or to the laundromat, all this, if before you pick up your merchandise, you're not over al b'yom otitan schoroi. Even that was ready today, if you pick it up after a day or two, you're not over it, because as long as the contractor has the merchandise, you don't have to pay him till you pick it up. The mail over there, you have the time. By the time of pickup, you have to pay him. Now what happened if you were over on the mitzvah? Again, either you did not know or whatever, you were over on the mitzvah and you didn't pay him on time. So that lotolin pulas schir, that you're not allowed to delay his payment. It's only over one time. You're not over it every day. So maybe you might say, I was over on the Avera anyway, now let me schlep it. So it comes over here, the halacha tells him, chayav litin lo miyad. You can't say, if I already was over on the Avera, now I could schlep the time. You have to pay him as soon as possible. U'b'chol es sheyashe over al divrev. There's a lav midrabanan, which lav shenemar al toimar lereyacho. This posuk al toimar lereyacho, it's a posuk in Mishlei. So Shlomo HaMelech said like this: Al toimar lereyacho lech v'shuv u'mochar etan v'yesh itoch. You have the money to pay him. You're just playing games with him. He'll come tomorrow, lech v'shuv. So Chachamim said you have that istur d'rabanan by saying in lech v'shuv. Now this halacha could also translate today. This halacha d'rabanan. A lot of time people have they call it net 30, net 10, net 60. If you're in business or you're getting certain service, that you got 30 days to pay, you got 10 days to pay, you got 60 days to pay. So till now you're not over because they give you lechatchila time to pay. But after that time it comes to pay, and you don't pay him after the 10 days, after the 30 days, whatever time you have, you're over on this halacha.
This is only for wages. When you're doing that 30, you're talking about product. That's schira.
It doesn't make a difference.
Where we see this halacha applies also to product, when you buy things.
Yeah, it's schar behema v'kelim.
But that's for labor. That's wages. It's all schar behema. This is rent, wages. This is all.
Let's say he sold you kelim. Let's say a guy sold you in a store.
Schar kelim is the rental to use it. You're using it's a rental. So it's wages. It's work. It's work that was done. When you buy product, a ready product, I'm buying it to sell food to sell in my store. That's not the same thing. That's not. There's no work.
I don't see the difference. Okay, I'm going to look more at it, but I don't see the difference. To me, it's the same thing. Meaning, you owe him the money for this kelim, and you didn't pay him after the time he gave you. It's not shaykh over there b'yom matitan schora, because again, if it's not that the day that you had to pay him, it was already postponed beheter. But after that, you over on lech v'shoy. Okay, but I will look more into it to what you said. Okay, now like this. You're not over on this mitzvah of Bal Talin unless he's demanding the money. But if he doesn't demand the money, you're not over. Or if he's demanding and you really don't have it, you're also not over. So again, there are some leniencies to this Indian that when you doesn't demand or you don't have it. So Lamaisa, the Sefer HaChinuch says, that, like I said, this mitzvah brought twice in Parshas Kedoshim and Sefer Vayikra and Sefer Bamidbar, Parshas Kiseitze. And Parshas Kiseitze, the Sefer HaChinuch says like this. He says that he recommends that you should always have the money ready before you call the Baal Malacha. You should have the money ready to pay him. So the best thing is that there is details of this halacha, but if you don't want to get into problems, so you should have the money ready to pay him. Yeah, that's what it says over here. Yeah, Mikol Mokim, Roi l'chol Adam l'chol ben das lias hakesef b'yodoi terem yiskor hapoyalim. Always make sure you call a Baal Malacha to do a work for you. You should have the money ready to pay him. That's the right thing to do. You call them, because a lot of times people call, they don't have, they could get into sticky situations. So it says you should have the money ready. Now, it says like this: be'erev Shabbos v'nitchem milifrei aschar b'shil Shabbos. Somebody came to Mamash erev Shabbos to do work by you, but you didn't pay him because Shabbos coming. Everybody was busy. Says you're not anymore going to be over on that law, because since the Shabbos you have time to pay him during Shabbos you cannot pay him. So he says that we just brought over here. Okay, there is one more nekuda over here that's mentioned by the Shach. The Shach brings like this. He brings from Sefer Chasidim. Im Taskir Soifer lichtav lecho titna ima shalotia bebaltonin pula socher shama kshiyitva loy lecholitan loy. Yeah, he says if you hire, he talks about a soifer, somebody going to write you a mezuzah, a soifer. So he says, or any, according to this, the concept is the same thing. If you hire Baal Malacha, so lechatchila should make understanding with him, should not be over on this, that because sometimes you're not going to pay him the day, he's going to ask him maybe later. So if you make Tnoim Tnai Shel Moment, we know all Tnai Shel Moment is a good Tnai. If as long as you talk before how you're going to pay him, then you're good. Yeah, and he says, "Enze masna al mashakosov batoira." Tonight, for a moment, it's not masna al mashakosov because you make up with him lechatchila. So, that halacha is so practical. So the best thing is to have an understanding before, not afterwards, because afterwards, sometimes you really don't have mechila. Sometimes the guy feels I'm stuck with him. I did the job. Now what I'm going to tell him? So pay me. But lechatchila, make a tanai before how you pay him, because otherwise, especially that halacha of oiver v'shov is more practical. Tell him coming back and forth, and it's another thing we could add to it. That who oil al kulona. A lot of times this involves already chilul Hashem. A lot of times people don't pay what they have to pay the way they have to pay, and it could bring to chilul Hashem, and that's definitely way worse. And all this halacha, that's why we have to be very careful. Like the Sefer HaChinuch says, before the Baal Malacha come, have the money ready to pay him.
So would this apply to a non-Jew?
Yeah. So the Gemara learned from the Psukim that the beyond Titan Sechore, there's many lavim involved over here, but that the Esse beyond Titan Sechore, the Gemara learns it applies to a ger toishav. The definition of a ger toishav, somebody keeps Sheva mitzvahs b'nei noyach, and he doesn't eat, and he eats nevelas even, but he keeps Sheva mitzvahs b'nei noyach. And the Rambam adds it's applied to a ben noyach to a goy. So all this halachas, but you have to pay on time, applies to a goy also.